Hey yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, Bobby Sneaker, and I am back with another video. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about something completely different, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, now so obviously what brought you to this video and made you click on this thumbnail is the title. The title says how to start and maintain a successful YouTube channel. Now, I have been wanting to make this video for so long, but I didn't feel like I was in the position to make it. I told myself when I get to like 1,000 subscribers, if I'm able to get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll make a video like this, a how-to video. And obviously I was able to do that. I was able to do that within 2018. And it was a blessing, and thank you guys once again. But I wanted to give you guys a couple of helpful tips that helped me get to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Because I've noticed there's a lot of people that started after me that have tons of subscribers. And there's a lot of people that started way before me that have way less subscribers than me. And I think that there's some things that go into that and things you need to understand on how to maintain and how to grow your channel at its own pace. Now, first of all, tip number one is going to be just get started. Just get started. It might sound dumb, it might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people make excuses on why they don't start their channel. There's a lot of people that go into each year, each month, thinking like, all right, next month, I'll start, next week, you know, I'll have something to talk about, whatever. My channel obviously is primarily about sneakers and fashion and the sneaker culture and stuff like that. That's my lane, and that's the lane I'll stay in. But always make excuses of why they won't start their channel. Just get started. That's tip number one. It's easy and it's simple, but just get started. Alright, so tip number two would be number one if it wasn't for obviously just getting started. But this is, if that's number one, this is 1A and this is 1B. Be yourself. Be yourself. Even though the people on the other side of this camera may not know who you are personally, people can still read through the bullshit. If people can tell that you're putting on your corporate voice and your like, no, nobody wants to hear the news when they come to your channel. Unless that's what your channel is about. Just be yourself. Whether it's a happy-go-lucky, outgoing, whether it's a more laid-back, relaxed type person, just be yourself. Find your own YouTube voice. Find your own on-camera voice. I shouldn't say YouTube. It could be in any setting. Anytime you're in front of a camera, find what makes you comfortable. And what's going to make you comfortable is knowing what you're talking about, knowing that whatever content you're putting out, that you feel comfortable talking about and you're knowledgeable about it. And people will be able to pick up on that. So anytime that you get in front of the camera, make sure you find your voice. Quick story time. Like, I used to watch, when I was heavy into sneakers way back in the day, I used to watch the people that are still successful now, Bull and Tony D and Mike Rich and all of them. They're, you know what I'm saying, they've been doing this for a long time. Now, fast forward to now, when I got back into the game, people that are, you know, like Damn D and stuff like that were getting the most views. So that's the people that I clicked on. And when I started my channel, I realized that if you go back to some of my old content, you'll notice that I used to start my video, YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Bobby C. That's Damn D. And somebody actually had mentioned that in the comments of one of my videos. I'm like, I didn't even purposely do it. But since I was so new and I was watching Damn D because he was obviously one of the most popular people in my lane as far as sneakers, I started emulating his intro to his videos. And that's not what you want to do. Nothing against Damn D. Shout out to him. He's extremely successful. Hopefully I can get up there one day as far as viewership. but you want to find your own intros, your own content, the way you describe whatever it is that your content is about. Find out a way that it comes across to your audience from you, from your heart. That's tip number 2. Find your own voice. All right, so number 3. Number 3 is pretty simple. It's staying consistent. And it's, all right, let's make it a 2-part. The first part of that is know what you want to talk about. Know what it is that you want to talk about. People gravitate towards your channel to see you talk about certain things. Once you start branching out to one day you want to talk about sneakers, next day you want to talk about pranks, next day you want to talk about gardening, the next day you want to talk about pets, and you're all over the place, you'll lose subscribers and viewership so fast because people don't know what they're going to get when they come to your channel. Just find your lane, stay in that until you gain more subscribers, and your subscribers will allow you to grow and expand into other things. There's nothing wrong with dibbling and dabbling in different things. I do vlogs, I do sneakers, I even have some fishing videos on my channel. But I've only sprinkled in a couple, and those don't have a lot of views either. But there are people that want that content. But you have to wait till you gain enough of a following to start branching out into completely different things, because people will start tuning you out if they don't know what to expect day after day or week after week whenever you upload. So tip number 4 is something that I actually have struggled with for a while, and it's going to anybody that's starting a channel. Even like I'm still starting a channel because I'm only a year into this. I'm still brand new to the platform. But what people struggle with is counting your subscribers, watching your view count, all of that. Now that might sound hard to do, and it is. It's very, very difficult. But you can't. There's nothing wrong with goal setting and saying I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, saying I want to get to 2,500, say I want to get to 10,000. You always want to speak those things into existence, but don't stress yourself out watching the numbers each day. If you didn't get a subscriber that day, now you're stressed out like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? The main thing you have to do is stay consistent. Put out good quality content, and people will find your channel. YouTube will allow you, as long as you're consistent, they'll continue to bump your channel up as long as you put in the right titles in, as long as you put in your tags on your videos, different things like that. Make sure you're putting out good quality content and you're consistent. People will find your channel. People will comment. People will, subscribe and all that different stuff. They'll come to you. Don't stress yourself out about how long it takes. It's a slow grind for 99% of us. Some people get lucky and they blow up really quick. The rest of us have to climb steady. Now, if I looked at some of my old videos, man, it's not even about the quality or, what I was talking about, because that's all a learning process, but there's no views on them. There's 20 views here, 30 views here, but you have to learn to appreciate those 20 views, those 30 views. I was so excited when I was my road to 50 subscribers, stuff like that. All of those people, my day ones, those are the foundation of your channel. As long as you can keep them people around. I have a lot of people that were there from those early days, the beginning of the year, all the way up until now, and they still rock with the channel. So don't stress yourself out about the numbers early on. Just make sure you be consistent. All right, so I'm just going to do a couple more tips before I get into my shout out portion of the video to end this video out. Excuse me. So I believe tip number 6 I'm at. Tip number 6, and everything is important that I've said up to this point, but if you already got your channel rolling a little bit, tip number 6 is extremely vital. Make sure you interact with every one of your supporters, your subscribers, your gang, whatever you call, your subscribers. If anybody that has ever commented on any one of my videos since January of 2018, I've replied to every single comment on my channel. To me, it's extremely important to interact and get to know. It feels a little bit more personal when you interact with your subscribers. It becomes more than just they're a number. Like, oh, I got 300 subscribers. No, you start to, even if you don't know them personally, obviously by name, you start remembering just their YouTube names. And they comment under every video. They shout you out at, you know what I'm saying, they encourage you. It's very important to me because I know, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the bigger channels, you know, you see a bunch of comments and you don't see any replies. And I know, you know, you can't always reply to every single person. You don't have time. But I've replied to every single one of the comments on my channel, whether it was good or bad, whether it was negative, and hopefully it's just constructive criticism. I have no problem with that because that's the only thing that's going to help me grow. And that's going to come more and more as my channel grows. So that's one thing that anybody that comes to my channel knows. If you come to my channel and you make a comment, you know I'm going to reply, whether it's just you giving me a compliment or if you have a question. I'll always answer any question that I can. So that's tip number 6. Make sure you interact with your supporters. Very important. All right, last tip that I'm going to drop for today, because I'll probably do another video down the road at like 10,000. But no, so but tip number 7 is going to be interact with other YouTubers, especially within your lane. Whatever it is that is your niche, whatever it is that you find you want to do, mine's is sneakers, I interact with other YouTubers. I can never get enough advice. I get so many tips and hints and tricks and whatever else to help me progress on this platform, man. I'm new to it. I'm still learning. So I ask people that are, you know, some people have less subscribers, but they have great editing or great videography or whatever it is they do. Ask them what kind of camera do you use? How did you do this? How did you do that? What kind of editing software do you use? Ask the bigger YouTubers, how do you grow your channel? What was the process like? Don't be afraid to reach out to other YouTubers and see how they made it, what they're doing, things you like, things you might want to, you know what I'm saying, take and tweak and make it your own. It's very, very important to be able to reach out to other people on the platform because those are the people that can help you. Those are the people that have been through it. Ask them questions. See if they'll answer them for you. If not, reach out to somebody else. You know, so that's my last tip. But going through the tips, I want to shout out 3 shoe-tubers. I know I talk to a lot of you guys, but the 3 main ones that I talk to on a pretty consistent basis, especially on IG, I'm going to say He Got Kicks, CEO and Now, and Me and My Kicks. Those 3 brothers, man, have helped me so much over the past year, 6 months to a year. Probably 6 months because nobody was checking for me, you know, since 6 months prior to that. But I reached out to them and they had no problem answering any questions. They're still smaller channels too, and they're growing and they're taking off, man. So shout out to those brothers. I put all the 3 of their channels down in the description below. Please go subscribe to their channels as well if you're into sneakers, because that's what they talk about. But if not, it's all good. I appreciate anybody that's watching this, whether you're into sneakers, whether you're into something else, or you just want to start a YouTube channel. Go out and do it, man. Don't hesitate. You ain't missing nothing. Don't worry about your equipment. Well, this is another bonus tip. Don't worry about your equipment. Don't worry about if you have to use your cell phone, if you got the most expensive camera. Just do it. As long as you know what you're talking about, people will gravitate towards your content. You know, preferably probably try to have like 720p or something like that. But even if you're using your cell phone, they all got pretty good cameras. So make sure that you don't worry about that. Don't let that stop you. But I'm going to get out of here because I'm rambling. This video is probably dumb long. I love y'all. OVE!